Alright, Ebusian for aha air possible multimedia. Any kinds way a news updates lady ever besumo.
Give me the contract.
Take this and give me. You can check from everywhere. I won't do it.
Is there corruption in Ghana?
Corruption everywhere in the world.
Are you corrupt?
I'm not. Let me give you one example. I met an Indian last week, and he said there's a project that he thinks I can influence. The actual cost of the project, the estimate that they've given them, is 26 million. Okay, the guy comes to say that he can do it for 9. The actual cost is 9, but of course, as a businessman, he has to make profit with whoever introduced them, 3 million, making 12. Then he said to me, I'm going to give you 3 million. So I'm going to, excuse me, I will add it to the 12 to make 15. And I said no to him. It's Ghana first. I don't want the 3 million. If you know you can do the job for 12 million, so be it. The young man that came from America with their ticket and everything, whatever you want to do for them, yes. But me, I won't take any money. And the Indian man was there with his young engineer son who is an engineer. He said, wow, I have goose pimples. I've worked in Africa for 22 years. I have never seen a black man reject $3 million like you.
Why did you reject it?
I rejected because if you know the actual cost is 9 and you want to inflate it to 15 and give me 3 million at the expense of the poor people that have no good education, no drinking water, hell no. Joy FM did well last week by showing a school somewhere in the north, Pandai or so, kids that are lying on the floor. And I will go and take $3 million. No, I won't do it. Ghana first.
Have you not done a government contract yourself before?
I've executed several contracts.
Did you add any money?
Yeah, of course, as a businessman.
For yourself?
Yeah, for myself. Yeah, I'm the.
Why did you add? You are a patriotic Ghanaian.
But if you are patriotic, it doesn't mean I'm investing, say, $20 million in a project.
Then you get $20 million back.
How do you get $20 million
back? Yeah, so that's.
Then how would your business? You see, what you need is the $20 million with everything, taxes and everything. Your margin should not be more than 30%
of the 20 million.
Yeah. So after paying, say 15% taxes and everything, if your profit margin is 15%, you stay in business. And that's my principle. I will not go for a soldier came to me just this evening before coming here, and he's telling me a story why he's being removed from his position because they bring a figure and the actual amount is 10, they increase it to 200, and he challenges them. Now he has a problem. See, that is corruption.
Yeah.
And that is what I stand for.
So the money that is shared before the business is the corruption. The one that is shared after the business is okay.
No, the margin too.
Oh, the margin?
Yes.
So you share it after the business, make sure the margin is not more than 30%.
Yes. But if you know it's 200 and you go there, increase it to 500, my brother, that is not fair.
So if I do a government contract, I execute a government contract of 500 cedis, I am allowed to benefit 30% of the 500 cedis.
Right.
Something like that.
Right.
Okay. So
and that includes all the taxes you are going to pay.
Everything. So that I can stay in business.
Right. So that you can stay in business.
I see. Okay. You are still on Good Evening Ghana and it's live. We've just been doing the economy and we did the IMF questions that had. Okay. So if Ghanaians were voting, why should John Mahama not be an option?
The fear of John Mahama coming to power is that one, John Mahama has not proven himself to be a good leader because he failed this country. So giving him another opportunity, like when he went out of power, he was going around now telling people that he has learned his lesson. This man, from his track record, he needs only one term, 4 years. Even when he knew that if he manages the economy well, he will have another term opportunity. that he could not even do it. Now that he has only one term, God knows what this man is coming to do, if it is not greed. So I'm scared for Ghanaians that alternative is not good for us, especially this message goes to MPP, that the alternative is not good for Ghana. And therefore, we have to be careful. And whatever decision we are going to take, we'll make sure we think of the country first. There are challenges, not might. There are challenges.
If the MDC didn't have John Mahama, but they had another candidate, it could be anyone, Stèal Gabrad, Dr. Dufour, Guzitan, or Kwesi Ahoy, would it make a difference?
Yeah, they stand a better chance than Mahama.
They stand a better chance with an unknown candidate.
Yes.
Who has not been president before.
Yes.
With President Mahama.
Yes.
In the minds of ordinary people.
Yeah.
Will people not be so frustrated with MPP and say that to hell with these people? Just anybody at all, anyone at all. So then John Mahama gets a collateral benefit from that.
Yeah, you are on point. It's very, very true. That is why I'm cautioning my party people that, well, we have 2 years to make a difference again in society in terms of development. Mm-hmm. If we are able to do it, I think Ghanaians will give us another chance.
To break the 8?
Yeah, but with me, we'll break the 8.
With another candidate?
With Agyapong.
Without Agyapong, can we break the 8?
Without Agyapong, well, it will be tough.
When you say with Agyapong, do you mean Agyapong as number 1 on the ticket or number 2 on the ticket?
Agyapong number 1 on the ticket, you can break the 8.
Agyapong number 2 on the ticket?
But, tough.
All right, this is still Good Evening Ghana, and my lady, I'm doing these interruptions for you so you understand that we ended another part over there. We ended the John Mahama question. That's what we just ended. Now this is getting interesting. Okay, Agyapong says that he is the one to break the 8 for the NPP. What's the time now? Okay, it's 15, less than 15 minutes to the top of the hour at 11 o'clock. Okay. Now let's go to the question about how he's going to solve that problem. From the text message, somebody asked, exchange rates, high inflation. I don't know whether he's going to say that his economic policies will solve it, but there's exchange rates issue, high inflation, and then high interest rate. Okay. Are you concerned about this? I've heard you talk about losing money recently when the dollar crashed.
I'm very, very much concerned about
this. As president, are you thinking about that?
Yes, of course.
How are you going to achieve that?
First of all, I'm a businessman. Just this morning, I was watching TV, UTV, and it was announced that they have increased, Bank of Ghana has increased the policy rate by 1%, 100 basis points, from 27% to 28%. That is ridiculous.
Why?
My brother, in this world, you see, most of industries that are companies that are succeeding in this country are owned by foreigners. Why? The answer is that these foreigners take loans from their country at low rates as 5% to 7%. And they come here. Now, a local businessman like myself going for a loan to compete with an Indian company that produces this bottle of water, and I'm also going to produce this bottle of water. The Indian company came in with an interest
from India Exim,
right, wherever he comes from, with 5% interest on his loan. Now, if Ghana, the base rate is 28, the banks, the commercial banks, is hovering around
30 something,
40.
Oh, it's already at 40.
Yes. Meanwhile, it should have been +2 or -2.
Of the base, yes.
Of the base. But no system is working.
They don't trust the city.
So everybody is giving any price that he wants. And interest rate is about 40. So how on earth am I going to compete with a company that took a loan with interest of 5% and I took a loan with interest of 42%? Whose product? These two examples here, although they are different shapes, it's the same water.
Yeah, same water.
If an Indian is producing this at 10 cedis and I'm producing this at 15. Whose product will move faster?
The Indian will move faster.
Fine.
So, but can Bank of Ghana isolate the people who are borrowing for industry purposes? Not everyone borrowing is borrowing for industry purposes.
I don't know.
Maybe they should do that in terms of policy, that if you are borrowing strictly for industry purposes, it will be cheaper than borrowing for other things, consumption and other things.
Thank you for coming to that. I have an idea called the Asia Miracle. And the Asia Miracle is simple. If you really want to improve this economy, let's adapt the Asia Miracles. Check Korea and see. What they did was that, look, I know gentleman A is into this industry, but he has financial constraint to expand his business. The government comes to you and said that, look, if you want to produce this water, you are doing 10, we want you to do 1,000. What can we do for you? So we need equipment A, B, C. Korean government will not give you the money directly, but they will send it to the source, the manufacturer, and pay for it. What the agreement they have with you is, you say within a year, you'll be able to finish the factory. The first 4 months or 6 months that you promised that the equipment will be in, the date that you gave them, when you have say 28, you gave the day 28, on the 30th of January, they are there to check if the equipment have arrived. They'll give you warning if it is not. The second time, they'll give you warning. The third time, they take over the factory or the company and give it to another person.
But it will continue the production?
Yes.
Okay.
Another person.
To do it?
To do it. By so doing, they were able to help their businesses to improve.
Indigenous business.
Yeah. And now